barrow is an Anglo-Saxon word. It might be related to burial in some form or something like that. It means a place of burial, or does it? Anyway, yeah, this is Stoney, Littleton. It's a Neolithic long barrow, a chambered tomb, and it's 5,500 years. I haven't looked at the board in the corner of the area, but off the top of my head, I think it's 5,500 years old, and it was a collective place of burial. Also, it's very likely a collective place of ceremony as well. They're markedly different from what comes afterwards, from sort of Bronze Age, the Copper Age onwards. We go in for round mounds with either one or a small scattering of burials in them, and it does appear that those are actually in fact a new people who've come from the continent. There's quite a marked difference between their DNA and the DNA of the people who would have lived in, who would have died, been buried in a place such as this. Too much has been said, however, of the more collective nature of something like this, where you might have, I think another one, West Kennet Long Barrow, had something like 40 people in it. That is a collective way of burying people. Long barrows could have from one to several, going across 1,000 years, 2,000 years, and even up to the Anglo-Saxons were popping burials inside Bronze Age barrows, but they were more collective in a span of thousands of years rather than probably, I may be wrong, you might have 8 or 9 people in something like that, whereas something like this would have 40, and it would probably go on for 100 years or 200 years with burials, but ceremony, they would have been open for much longer than that, so ceremonies would have taken place in these sort of courtyards around here, where perhaps they might have, this is only conjecture, they might have brought the bodies out, or and had a meal with them, or made offerings to them, or whatever they did. We've no idea what they did. It's impossible to really know, even with our best sort of comparative religion hats on. It's impossible. But above all, it showed a new regime. So in the past, I've made much of the more selfish, self-centered, individualistic Bronze Age, Copper Age round barrow as compared to the collective. In typical Marxist fashion, the collective of the Neolithic isn't quite true. It does appear that the 40 people that would have been buried in something like this were an aristocracy or elite of some sort, because there would have been far more than 40 people living around here. But anyway, it's interesting nonetheless. It's very beautiful stonework as well. They did, you'd think 5,000 years ago they wouldn't have been very good at this, and they were. I would also in the past make a great deal about the landscape. This is on a very prominent hill overlooking the settlement, well, just just beyond that hump, and so yeah, that settlement just beyond that hump, and so I would have made much of the landscape, but it's people used to say that prehistoric monuments were at our ancestors decided to place them at the top of the hills. At the bottom of the hills is where the good land was, and they just ploughed it all out. There were loads and loads of really smashing monuments in valleys. It was just too good for our ancestors. They wanted that land to grow wheat and various other things, graze the horses. If it had just been a matter of grazing their animals, it would have all still be there. 150 years ago, antiquaries would write about this hump and this ditch here and there. It's all gone. Anyway, that's my little visit. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra for now.